Today is the 16th. Woo!
Tomorrow is the day after school. I can't wait for the weekend. It's like it's weird though, because when I was living in Colorado, it's 5 days a week.
Yeah.
So this is
She got
actually like cool.
So if you have your Chromebooks out, like I get it, you're ready to roll. Just kind of put that on the back burner for a couple minutes. Just I swear this won't take long. I just want to show you that you can actually compose a function with itself, which is pretty. There's actually instances in math when you'll have to do this. Um, like if a discount gets applied twice, like if you have a 20% off, but the store's already having a 20% off sale, you're essentially composing a 20% off sale with a 20% off sale, which is pretty cool. So in mathematics, just pure algebraic appearance, it might look something like this. Let's say we had like g of x equals negative 2x plus 5. And I ask you to find g of negative 3. You'd think the first time you saw that, you'd probably think it was a typo, right? Like, did you mean g of f or f of g? And the answer is no, I meant g of g. And so really you'll see why this is a super short recording is if you just follow the same principles as we've learned, the process isn't any different. There's just not a second function that gets to play. So what's the first thing we're going to do? Yeah, we're going to take that inside one and we're going to work it, right? Just like we would have. It doesn't matter what function it is. So we're going to go off to the side and we're going to calculate g of negative 3, which is going to be negative 2 times blank plus 5, right? I'm just doing the g function. Nothing to it. And I'm going to put what number in that space? Right. And now we just, as always, got to hope the math is good. What's negative 2 times negative 3? And what is positive 6 plus 5? And then just like before, we're going to take the 11. We're going to put it back in. You can compose a function with itself. You just essentially keep, and you could do it multiple times. You could do g of g of g of g of 2. And you just keep cycling through and you keep taking putting it in, get an answer, put that answer back in, get another answer, put that answer back in, get another, like you could reiterate this process as many times as you want. So anyways, g of 11 now is where we are. We're on the second half, the home stretch here. So we're going to take that 11 and put it into the function. And that's going to be negative 2 times 11 plus 5. Nothing to it, right? And what is negative 2 times 11?
Negative 22.
And what's negative 22 plus 5? Therefore, the final answer would be negative 17. You might think, I can't believe I got my notes out for this, but just think of how you would have felt if you got to the second problem on today's assignment and you'd seen it. So now you know there's going to be 3 or 4 of them that are g of something or f of something or something like that. So now you know. Any questions about that? As advertised, shortest recording ever. So there you go. So your tasks for the day are finish and grade assignment 9, and then ideally finish assignment 10. That might be a tall ask, but I believe in you. I'll keep the recording live or alive, but paused. If you guys have any that you want to go over, just let me know and I'll record it. This one I haven't printed out yet, so you're going to have to read it to me because I need to have a copy.
It's one of the
Just
new
read
things
it.
we did.
Just read it to me.
It's h of x equals 4x plus 4.
Okay.
And g of x equals 4x minus 1.
And what are we calculating?
Oh, we're supposed to find h of g of negative 9. I think I said that right.
Like that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do we do first?
Well, get our okay. We take our x's and we put the negative 9 in the x.
So there's a step before that. And what I need you to see is that this portion, I'm going to grab it and move it around. This is your first problem. I need you to do this somehow with a pencil, or maybe you erase it from here. Watch what I'm going to do. I'm going to take it. I'm going to stick it over here. That is our first math problem that we have to do. So if it says h of blah, 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 that blah, 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 we have to find an answer to this first so that we can put the answer back. See that empty space I've created up there in the corner? I got to have something to put up here, and I don't have anything, but I'm going to when I figure out the answer to this math problem down here. So you were kind of on the right track, but when you were pretty ambiguous about this, about just putting numbers in for x's, we want to be really clear about what we're doing. You see this right here? That means that we're going to put -9 right there and only right there because we need to use the function whose name is given g. You okay?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. So the math is not what's hard. Like, I know you can do math, like, but it's not that, it's the process. So when I take the function named g and I copy it down, it says 4x minus 1. But I didn't write 4x minus 1. I wrote 4 blank minus 1. What's going to go in the blank?
-9.
And now we have to do math.
So it's and 4 times -36.
Right. And then -36 minus 1 is
-37.
right. So what we do now is we take the answer -37 and we take that answer, ready? And we put it back up here. So now you see the math problem that we actually have to do is h of -37. So where are we going to put the -37?
In x's place.
But be more specific. That's what I got on you before. Like, I mean,
In 4x. We're going to place the x on 4x and put -37.
this one has a 4x and this one has a 4x. You're still not being specific enough.
We're going to put it on h of x.
That's what I wanted to hear you say is h of x. And we know to use h of x because we're asked for h of a number. So we're going to put -37 right there. And that's a that's -148, I think, plus 4. Let me show you the math that I did. I did 4 blank plus 4. And in the blank, I put -37. And when I multiplied these together, that's when I got -148. What's -148 plus 4?
Yeah.
-144.
That is the answer. Are you guys having a debate? Right. So we have, oh yeah, so we have g of x equals 3x minus 5. And then we're finding g of x squared.
Yeah.
Awesome. Couple things. I'll just say this first right away. You're going to be so disappointed when I show you how to do this. Every once in a while in math, we're like expecting something. We go, oh, and this one you're going to go like, oh. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to take x squared and we're going to put it right there. And it's going to be 3 times x squared minus 5. And then we're done. See what I mean? There's not a lot of meat on that bone. But I know that you wanted to know because it had an x squared in it.
Yeah.
But really, you just physically, like, if it said, like, find g of x to the 48th power, we'd be like, oh my God, that looks so hard. But really, the answer would just be 3x to the 48th minus 5.
Okay.
All better?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. So W of t.
It's the one we just did.
So this is number 11. So we have W of t equals
-3 times
minus 2. Okay. And we're being asked, if my memory serves true, we're being asked to find W of 4t. And I don't know why I put an equals there. Apologies. W of 4t. So what that means is red is going to replace red. Like that's all function evaluation is. Like in a nutshell, there it is. Replace one thing with another. So I'm going to take this function over here and I'm going to rewrite it. But when I get to the part that says t, I'm going to leave an opening there. That's the feeding slot. And it says, okay, give me the input now. And the input is 4t. So 4t is going to go plug itself right in there like this. And then all we have to do now is just a little bit of math. And there's really not a lot you can do. What you can do is you can multiply those together. Multiplication is a free for all. You can multiply anything by anything. It essentially winds up just becoming like a mashup. And so if I multiply those together, I get negative 12t. But what I can't do is combine it with the -2, right? Because they're not like terms, right? So this is your final answer and you're done. Like Gobble said, like it actually is once you're ready to let it click, it is easier. It's way less math to have to do than the top half. You're just moving one thing into another thing and then simplifying it out. You want to do another one? Sure. Would you mind? I still don't have a paper copy. Could you read me number 12?
Four, plus two,
And we're finding h of what?
x plus two.
Okay. So really, again, what it means is this red is going to go in place of this red. That's all there is to it. So the function just awaits your input. So we take this function rule and we copy it down. But when we get to the input, we take it out and put a space, like a landing zone, if you will. And then the x plus 2 is going to go flying in and drop itself right in there. Is that clicking?
Yeah.
Really not much going on there. And then when you distribute, you get 4x plus 8 plus 2. And these ones you can put together. What do we get? So we get 4x plus 10. Done.
Yeah.
Got it? Sweet. Yeah.
For number 16, it, g of x equals 3x minus 5, and then we have to
You
find
need to close
g
that
of
down.
x
If
to
I
the
ever
power of
see it
2.
again, you're in big trouble.
I don't
Because
understand
we're
what to
working
do
on
with
math,
the
not watching videos.
exponent.
Thank you. Hey guys, if I gave you a function like this, I'm answering a question right now. He just doesn't know I'm answering his question. If I gave you a function like f of x equals 3x minus 4, and I asked you to find f of swirly donkle. It's a swirly donkle, bro. If I asked you to find f of swirly donkle, could you guys do it?
No.
If you answer no, then you're making this harder than it needs to be. This is
Maybe.
telling me to take this swirly donkle and put it where the x is. That's functions 101.
But what
So
number?
my answer is 3 swirly donkle minus 4. So this leads me to question 16 on your new assignment. I get it. It's not a swirly donkle. Yeah, I know. Number 16 says to find, like, if say it said x squared or something like this. Listen, there's absolutely nothing preventing you from just putting it in. Like, I'm just going to say, okay, where the double underlined red X thing is, I'm going to take that out. And in its place, I'm going to put the swirly donkle, or in this case, the X squared. And I'm going to put a box around it and be done.
That's it.
Yes, that's it.
Oh,
We think it's got to be difficult because it says X squared, but it could say, like, find f of puppy dog. And my answer would just be 3 puppy dog minus 4.
oh.
Right. I look forward to a wonderful sub report. And again, there will be no Chromebooks tomorrow. I have, with assistance of something that just happened, made my choice official. No Chromebooks out tomorrow at all. Paper, 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 paper.
But like the veil boards are like so 12 on the 9.
Yes.
So this is problem 3 on the new assignment. You guys seem to be having a disagreement. This really is only going to work if you're actually like paying attention.
May I use that?
That was weird. There's the problem. So when we're done here in about 1 minute, there's not going to be any debate about who's right or wrong. This is problem 3, and we're going to take this and we're going to do it first. That's G of 3. So that means I'm going to take the number 3 and I'm going to put it right where this red arrow is pointing. There are still a few stragglers who are having a hard time figuring out where to put that. I will say, you know, if we're finding G, then we have to use the function named G. I'm guessing you probably know that. So we're going to take the n and we're going to replace it with the number 3. And that's 3 squared, which is what, guys? And 9 plus 3 is definitely 12. And so our output has now become our input. And so the number 12 is going to feed back in now to the function f, right? And so what I'm looking at now is the function named f is up here in the purple box, and that is 4 times 12 plus 1, which is 48 plus 1. The answer is 49. Got it? Are there any others that I can settle for you while you're kind of okay? All right.
I'm just stuck on